the previous example, we used two awesome features of Acrobat 11 Pro. That was using the PDF portfolio feature and also using the comments and markup feature, which was found to the top right here. In the previous example, we looked at how a student could submit their project or thesis as a neat, concise portfolio, and then how a lecturer or teacher would mark it and add comments and save it and send it back. If you're interested in that, please have a look at the tutorial that precedes this one. In this tutorial, we're going to look further into the annotations panel, and in particular, this little hidden gem called the highlight text tool. I'm going to show you a little trick that is quite useful for students who are swatting for exams. And what we're going to do with this tool is we're going to use it to create revision notes from an existing digital PDF. So to kick off, you'd basically open up the document that you wanted to take your notes from and get to the place in the document where you want to start reading from, and then select the highlight text tool. So I would start by selecting my first text box and perhaps an important sentence down at the bottom here that I wanted to highlight and use for revision purposes later, and basically continue throughout the document highlighting the areas of text that were important to my studies. The only problem is when the text is actually copied from the document into my comments panel, you can see that the layout is not very nice. So it's being broken up at weird places, and it wouldn't be very nice to read that after the fact in an A4 format. So there's a little trick that you can take note of, which is going into your commenting preferences and first of all making sure that under the commenting section that you have ticked this last option, which is copy selected text into highlight, strike through, and underline comment pop-ups. So that's the first step to getting the highlighted text actually appearing in your comments list, actually capturing it. And second of all, if it's not copying nicely and formatting nicely, as is the case here, you would then go to the View menu and choose Tools and Accessibility and run a little script over the document called Add Tags to Document. When I click on it, it basically checks the document for correct formatting, and it does so in order to improve the functionality of the document for accessibility purposes. And the report that it gives me at the end of the day is not important for these purposes. I'm just going to minimize that. But what it has done is it's actually reorganized or re-tagged the content in the document. Now when I roll over this highlighted area, things still look the same. So I'll need to delete those particular comments. So let me just delete them from my comments list just by selecting and pressing backspace, and reselecting them using the highlight text tool. Now you'll notice that when I highlight the text and roll my mouse over them for a second time, they'll look far neater and more readable in their new copied format. And that's really the trick of using accessibility and tag documents in this file. So in this example, what we've done is collect the comments on the right hand side, and all that remains now is to actually export them as a comment summary so I can use them in my revision for my exams. So I'll go ahead and make a couple more selections of important paragraphs that I want to capture and build up a little section on the on the right hand side where I've got my notes ready to go. I then click on my comments list pop down menu and I say create comment summary, and because I'm not interested in what is in the original document, I just want to copy my comments, which is what I've highlighted, into an A4 document with a large font size because I'm highlighting some important areas, and I choose create comment summary. So what's basically happened is it's given me a nice neat summary of my content, and it's at the moment it's summarizing it per page. I can also change those settings to list them all in one document, but as you can see, everything that I've highlighted is now available for me to read through and reference on a separate document.